Welcome back to the show. Welcome to Down for the Count. And we're going to be going over WrestleMania, the fallout of Mania. We're going to be talking about everything that has happened over the last couple of weeks. But before we get into that, let's start off with one thing: Darby Allin and his championship win. Okay. I think it was last week. Darby Allin won the AEW championship. Um, from my understanding, MJF dropped it to him because he has to leave to film a movie right away.
Oh, surprise. Surprise,
so
surprise.
so he is gonna drop the title, and then he'll come back, and then probably will have him drop it back to MJF. However, as far as I have been seeing across the internet, it's mixed reactions with Darby Allin getting the championship. Some people are happy, other people think he shouldn't have got the title. Um, I also saw somebody basically break it down that Darby Allin is gonna make the title be seen more often on television. He's going to be wrestling every single week. He's going to be defending the title almost every other week. And that's how they're going to book him until MJF comes back. I don't know if
Tony,
that's true, but it's possible.
Tony, Tony, I know you're listening, hun. I know you listen to our show. Stop putting that belt on someone that's not going to be there for majority of the time. And that's going to come up into another conversation here shortly. I'm so tired of this guy. I can't believe I'm about to fucking defend Darby Allin. Holy shit. You can't keep giving a title for somebody who's not going to be there. At least, Darby will show up. Darby will wrestle. Darby will do whatever. Darby will probably kill himself defending that title. It was a squash match, which is fucking hilarious to me in the long run. Sorry, I don't mean to keep sniffing. I live in East Tennessee. Allergies is kicking everybody's ass right now. But I mean, I'm sick of this. It's like MJF wants to go do a movie. He's champion. They drop the title, and then he gets it back, and then nothing gets done with it. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I hope Darby has a good run. I hope he makes that title worth something again. And if they put that shit back on MJF, they're not going to like the response of the fans. Like, they'll listen to the ones who pop for MJF. But for the rest of us, it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? What is this? Why are we doing this again?
Nicole, what do you think? Darby Allin's champ.
Um, I mean, I was happy he got the belt. For who is this that got drafted to the Browns are crying? These people look Samoan.
He is Samoan.
Oh, thank goodness. Something good.
I
My gosh. Anyways,
think Gargano got home.
sorry audience also watching the draft right now. I'm trying to use my degree or almost degree. It's like 75% loaded. It's almost done there, guys. Anyways, I was very happy for him. I felt like it was about time.
Mhm.
I just think it's crazy how they came to the decision because you literally just had it. MJF beat Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I feel like you could
For
have
him to
dropped
get
it.
beat, that's what I think that's what is throwing me off about it is that you
Mhm.
had him beat Kenny Omega, which I was not happy about.
Nobody
Um
was, honestly, from what
I
I
was
saw.
not happy about that. I thought that was a really odd booking choice.
Mhm.
And this is also, and honestly, we should have took this or wrestling like tea leaves because it just led us into a weekend. Mind you, it was a different company, but it led us into a weekend of questionable booking decisions.
You know,
So
Oh boy.
it
besides
was
that,
just I just didn't like that for the fact I also feel like he's been taking too many L's since he's gotten back, and I can't believe I'm also gonna say this. Will Osprey, in my opinion, has taken way too many L's since coming back.
I agree.
All
I
against
don't
me.
like that. He literally just had, even though he don't care about the neck, and I feel like I'm the only person who cares about the neck.
No,
Um,
I'm caring about that neck
I'm
because he
I'm telling
shit,
like,
man.
well, you probably I don't know, you might listen to us now since we might be on a little bit better terms. Um
I still stand by what I said.
I'm
Mm,
a standby. I would. That's why I say anything I ever say on here, I
I
am.
stand on that.
I'm stand by it, and it is not something so out of pocket, like not joking wise, because I'll say a lot of shit, and I'm literally joking. But things
Yeah,
that I say that I am dead ass, I would literally say it to their face.
I don't have a problem with that.
I would have dead look them in the eye, would repeat whatever shit I said in here, repeat up the square in the face. Honestly, it might land better and they might get it if it's someone tells it to their face
No,
instead
for
of
real.
behind the screen. So you know
Right.
what? Oh, they got
No,
him. Oh, they got the shit on him. I forgot what the green one is called.
I don't know what that is.
Where's
He's
the
one of
Ulafala?
the
He's the tribal chief now. Anyways,
he going to New York
um,
for
it's
the
the second
Giants.
one. Anyways,
It's
I didn't like I don't I like that he's finally champion. I feel like Darby Allin deserved it. I felt like he's the other pillar that they actually do something with.
Hmm.
Um so honestly it's two pillars. There's no four of them. It's two pillars. The two pillars are Darby Allin and MJF. I'm happy that he got to, again, cash in on all the equity and everything that he's done for AEW and like cleaning himself up when he needed to get his shit together. I'm glad that he did that. And that's so funny that Priscilla's ex-husband and her fiance work at the same company now. I
Wowzers.
just thought about that. But honestly, Zachary's so nice. They're probably like chill. Um,
that she did with GCW where she does the little hand thing under the chin like he does.
yeah, it's cute. But yeah, I'm happy for him. I don't like how I feel like they booked against him, if that makes sense. Even though he did get the belt, I felt like the booking leading up to it wasn't great for him. I should have known something was weird because again, we were recording, so I was like halfway distracted and I was also high. But I was like, why is Sting here?
Hmm.
And it just didn't like completely flew over my head. And and I saw some people are like, oh, I fucking knew as soon as Sting was there. And I was like, that flew over my head. I was like, I didn't even think, I just thought his ass just showed up randomly because I felt like that's what they do over there. So
Yeah.
I completely flew. So they got me. I like when also I get worked.
Yeah.
I know people, I know you little smart fans, you little smart marks. I know you don't like it. I love getting worked.
I
That's
like
the
a
whole
good
reason I
work.
watch wrestling is to get, because it doesn't happen often, but when it does, chef's kiss. I love it.
I
I knew they
agree.
were doing something because I'm thinking, okay, he's beat Darby or he's beaten Brody King, who's over like fucking Rover right now. And it's not just because, he's a good person, he's a good wrestler and he deserved the title shot. And then he beat Kenny. And I'm
I need to
like,
find
okay,
out if Brody King is single.
he, girl, you're going to have to do that because I can't, unfortunately. But, hi, Brody.
Damn.
um, if I wasn't married, you're a very respectable man. I like you.
You are
Um,
definitely her type.
I feel like he would just toss you around a lot, and I would love that
I wouldn't have
for
a
me.
problem. But no,
All
as soon
right,
as he
calm
lost,
down. Take a cold shower, both of you.
Never.
as soon as he lost as soon as he lost or he beat Kenny, I'm like, okay, they're planning something. I know they're gonna do something weird. But I just don't like this idea that he gets to go off and do whatever, and then he gets that title right back. And
Well,
like,
to be fair, we don't know exactly what they're gonna do, but that seems to be what looks like is gonna be the plan.
And I don't like that for Darby. That's not fair to him.
Yeah,
I
I
don't like
don't
that
think
for
that's
anybody who gets that title except
I
Mox.
don't think I don't think that's fair either. I think that Darby deserves to have a decent title run. I do deserve think he deserves that. a lot of people are not for this. They didn't want Darby Allin to win that title.
He
I
had
saw a
to.
post.
He was next. He's been next in line for months.
He was supposed to be champion before he climbed Mount Everest, if
Yeah.
we're being honest.
Are they watching?
No.
I don't know, but I'm
And
gonna
for
tell
and
you
this
what
is
the
and then this is for the people who try to say that we don't pay attention or we don't watch AEW.
mhm. So
They don't.
WrestleManiac.uk, they're the ones who put it up there and they said, I'm not a fan of Darby Allin as AEW World Champion, but I can't lie. They're booking this exactly how I thought they should. Open challenge vibes, running through upper mid carders with chaotic matches weekly until his body eventually gives out. I'm all in for this Darby.
Well, the thing that just got me was like Paige was having a hell of a run with that title. And then it's just like as soon as MJF came back, he got the title again. And I'm just like, and it's like that every time. But I'm noticing like this is probably going to be controversial for some people. I'm noticing the people who don't have their heart in wrestling anymore is trying to get into other things like acting because like a little while ago Tiffany Stratton she put out in an interview that by the time she's 30 she wants to be done with WWE and do movies. And the one guy even said it. He goes, "What do you bring to a movie? You hardly bring anything to wrestling. What could you bring to a movie?" There, and he even said it. He goes, "You're a pretty blonde girl with big tits. You could throw a rock in Hollywood and find somebody like that. What are you gonna do?" And
Hell,
it's just like,
Sydney Sweeney's right there.
if they want someone
And
with
you
world,
know what? I give her and I give Cassie the business. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure. That lady will always try to keep a job, and she will show up on that set, and she will do whatever you ask her to do in that role.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give her that.
I mean, because these.
I don't know about Tiffany because Tiffany gets she gets a little funky anytime she gets certain directions when she don't like it.
mm,
Mhm. I'm now because these new episodes of Euphoria. Mm,
girl,
Yeah,
they
and
know.
I don't even with someone that I don't fuck with like that.
that's
I don't
I don't
I
like
have
that.
a real problem with Sam Levinson.
I don't like them at all. I was looking at
He's a
that shit like
creep, man.
that's
I have
fucking
a
wild.
real problem with him now because low key, the reason he has been able to do all this stuff because he's a nepo baby. And some of his stuff was good. I really one of my like I don't want to say my favorite movies, or one of movies that like I really enjoy. And if someone is looking for like a crazy movie, I recommend this. And it's Assassination Nation.
Oh, I
Mm,
heard about that.
I love like if you want like a real campy like sort of like no I don't want to say too much because I will give away a very like it's like very reminiscent of like a crazy plot set in like a suburbia type of setting like a crate like a faculty like shit like movies like that, but it's like a updated version, and it's honestly it's such a cool concept. And then like the ending you would like on paper you would hate it, but knowing like the generation that's like involved with it, it makes so much sense. I recommend if you're gonna do what you're gonna watch one Sam Levinson project that's actually pretty good,
hmm.
is watch Assassination. I think it's because it's a movie. I think he needs to go back doing movies.
The concept. Okay, so we're segueing. So apologies for those of you who
Sorry.
want the wrestling stuff, but we'll get back to it. I promise. I found out that he stole the concept of Euphoria from a British TV show.
Yeah.
And then he stole the look of it from a younger artist that was putting out pictures. He asked her to be a liaison consultant on set. HBO declined to have her because she was too young for them. And she thought they were just going to scrap her concept and move on. And then she looks up on the billboard for Euphoria HBO, and it's her picture, her artistry concept, everything you see in Euphoria, from the colors to how they wear their makeup, all of that is from her. And that rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, you could have just given them their props. You could have just paid her for her concept and her intellectual property, gave her a producer or image consultant on this project, because it is not fair. You shouldn't be able to steal people's intellectual property like that. I don't care what you're talking about. And then you're stealing concepts for TV shows, and it just really pissed me off. And I was just like, then you look at the new season, and it is just so, it's so
It's
batshit
massive
bonkers.
and it's massively different. Also, that falling out at Labyrinth, that's why all the music is shit this
And that
season.
pissed me off too. And he came out and said straight up, I don't want to work in a toxic work environment. I don't want to work with people who ain't really for me. And he's on the interview lying, talking about some he doesn't know why. He knows damn well why. And I'm like, you just burning bridges. Like, what is going? What
I'm
are
like,
you
yeah, I'm
doing?
like, what kind of I said, you are acting. I said, I know Nepo babies can usually get, but you're doing a lot. That they're not gonna be able to clean up your mess. Like at
Damn.
this point, like you're gonna be shit out of luck. And I bet you he's not gonna do nothing unless it's like literally self. I don't think after this he's gonna be able to do anything unless it's completely self-funded.
Not TV
I
wise.
think I don't care. I don't even think it's TV, like whatever project he does, whether it's a TV movie or anything, I don't think it will see the light of day unless it's self-funded, because he burnt so many like he was wilding with the idol.
Yeah.
Wilding with the idol, like, oh, like pissed everyone off, from producers to fucking heads to actors to like you name it, he pissed, you name it in that department. Sam Levinson did something fucking wild to them or said something wild to him, like complete batshit crazy. And it was to the point where the reason, like one of the few reasons that they didn't drop, because they were talking about drops not airing it anymore. I think it was at what was I think it was like the second or third episode, because it was
Yeah.
again so crazy. They were like, I don't they didn't even want to air it anymore. And this is HBO saying this. But the only reason, because he was holding fucking Euphoria over their damn heads. And so their hands were like tied for that, only for them to get mad while this season is getting made because it's so bad. So they're just so pissed off. And HBO company, they own so many freaking studios and shit. And that, like, he's not working for a long time.
Oh, jeez. All right. So we segued. Sorry, but we'll we do that
We had to
often.
talk about, some little pop culture here and there.
Just a little bit. Okay. So Mania, right? We all saw what happened at Mania. Bianca Belair told everybody that she was pregnant, and we're happy, Nicole. We're happy that she's pregnant.
See,
I am happy for you, but Montez still needs to come outside.
Okay.
I'll buy you something off of the registry, but he needs to come outside though, and that's
I mean,
it.
I mean,
Arguments.
I'm happy for her because I think they had on that show that they did. They were talking about how she had like infertility issues or something like that, or they were trying.
She or no, she. I mean, they didn't really try. They weren't like really trying before. They said that she could have her. It was like a possibility that she could have fertility issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of it stem unfortunately, I think, from when she had like used to have her eating disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I am remembering that correctly. It is
You
because of
are.
that.
You
Okay,
are.
yeah, it is because of that, which is unfortunate. Which is one of a major unfortunate side effect of having an eating disorder.
Mm-hmm.
I know, especially like in our, which Bianca is in our age demographic, that's unfortunately like very prevalent in our age demographic, because of the time that we were teenagers, was in the height of like this skinny epidemic. And you remember,
Mhm.
again, sorry, I'm segueing again, but what is that? And I like vividly remember, because I remember them talking about it, and like I watched something like pop culture wise, and like how crazy it was in hindsight. That one, it was like People US, and they were literally was like circled all these spots on Jessica Simpson, like calling her fat.
I remember
And
that.
I remember that outfit. It was like in a blue, she had like those super blue high waisted jeans, had
Yeah,
on like something, I think like a black top, something was like leopard print. I like vividly remember that. And then, in your mind, you're thinking, oh my God, she's so big, especially like in that looking like at that time of year, because that was, with like real bad body type, body image issues at that time, like everybody.
yeah,
And looking at her now, I'm like, she's like a normal fucking size. And I was like, oh my. And then you think about like, oh my gosh, that was really bad actually.
yeah. It was a hard time to grow
I
up
was like,
in.
it's real. I was like, wow, that was really bad.
Thinking about me personally growing up during that time, it was no clothes for plus size girls. They had, by the time I was in high school, is when Ashley Stewart and Torrent had came around, and Lane Bryant. Those were the only three places you can go to. There were a few others that were like boutiques, but there was nothing like what we have right now. All of the really chic clothes and stuff, you had to be smaller to fit it, and they weren't wavering on that. It was either lose weight so you can look cute or you don't,
Oh,
and it's very very rough time. So I understand, but Bianca is pregnant and she is ecstatic. Her husband is happy. He also showed back up after
mm,
Mania on Raw to take out the Vision. Him and Dawkins. Dawkins is shaped up. Montez had gained a few pounds some months back. The last time that he was seen on, I don't even think it was TV. I think it was during their European tour during those house shows. Um, because that was the last time, because we haven't seen Montez in a while. We talking like a while. Even before Bianca, got injured, Montez hadn't really been on TV like that. So he
because
shaped up.
they took them off of, we're not sure is that they took them off. I think obviously like stuff with Bianca, and then
Yeah,
but also to be able to refresh them on TV
yeah,
eventually.
get him a new start.
Yeah.
So Montez had picked up a few lbs, but he shaped himself back up. And then Dawkins looked like he literally got really ripped and cleaned himself up, because there
Dawkins
was
has
never a
never been that small.
never. And he doesn't wrestle without a shirt. That man wears his gear and a shirt under it. I've never seen him wrestle without it. So it was very wild seeing both of them come out shirtless like that on Monday. Very wild,
I was happy
chaotic
for
time.
him.
But they looked good. They looked great, and we like the fact that they're going after the Vision.
You look
Kudos
good, sis.
to you. Okay, so to just make it plain, we're just going to say our overall thoughts of the weekend. We're not going to go over it match by match or piece by piece. We'll just say, I like the weekend, I hate it. And you can pick out some pieces that you really liked or hated. And then we'll move on to what happened during Mania week. So let's start with Alexis. Alexis, you watched what you watched, or you know what you know. So just give us your overall thoughts of Mania and some things you liked and some things you disliked.
Overall, night one sucked. I'm sorry for the people who were on night one, but it wasn't good. I'm glad Jacob got his first win, and he came out there with the Samoan dancers. So good for, I love that for him. I love everybody who was their first WrestleMania and they got their first match, or anyone who won their first WrestleMania match, or anyone who had their first WrestleMania match. Props to you. Um, I don't know why everyone's crying about Brock Lesnar when, like, just about 2 weeks ago, y'all were saying you wanted, a lot of people were like, why is he back? Blah, blah, blah. But now all of a sudden the man's retiring and y'all want to shed tears. No, we ain't doing that here. Um, Night two was way better. Um, Penta retained. That ladder match was good. We knew it was going to be good, so we didn't have any qualms about that. Cody got fucked up, as per usual with WrestleMania with him. Um, Trying to see what else. I don't like Roman being champ because I really hope they don't do the new another 4 years with him with that title. And I'm happy that Danhausen had a very good WrestleMania weekend.
That was a great recap.
All right, Nicole. Alexis gave us a real good recap, actually.
I
That
know.
was really nice. Appreciate you, Alexis. Nicole, what do you think? You got both nights, and you can talk about the top things you liked and some of the things you didn't like about Mania.
My favorite my favorite thing of the weekend was these Saturday night WrestleMania
I
niggas.
need you to leave that shit alone. I need
I
you
will never
to
leave it
leave it
alone
alone.
because it's so funny. I'm gonna go watch a clip of it after this because it's so funny. Because it literally it was a self it was just like a self-improved prophecy. And then you look back at it, it's like Saturday night is ass. Like
No, you
not the whole
disrespecting.
not everybody's mad. We're like, Papa, this was on Saturday. Like, shut up. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about we're not grading on a
Excuse
curve.
me.
It's a sorry, it's a group effort and most of the class didn't do their homework. I'm so sorry. Gunther and Seth can't outweigh Jimmy and Jay at 40. Like, it's just, when you got a couple, even if you got a mostly clean dumpster, those two dirty diapers are really just gonna stink up the joint. And that's what Saturdays are. And why are we
Oh my
putting
god.
most of the women on Saturday?
Hmm.
Anyways, I didn't like that. The women are exempt from this Saturday conversation, FYI, because women are always exempt from this. I'm talking to those men since they
This
act like
man.
they want to carry the company. Well, y'all's time is up. We're not doing this no more. It's a failed experiment for the men now. The women are taking over. They're putting the company on the back. Even on the lady gets on my fucking nerve. Rhea's, she's selling t-shirts. She's selling t-shirts, putting butts in seats. Um, Liv's fans be buying anything and everything, and I love that for her and them. Um, Stephanie has like really good fan base. Um, yeah, it's just it was good. The second night, that was something. I was very shocked by it. I'm so happy Oba retired Brock, period. Happy Black History Month. Also happy Black History Month for Trick Williams winning.
Sure.
For Sammy.
Just dirty, bro.
That's so funny.
That's just
I knew that lady was gonna win, and I don't really like this discourse online surrounding all of this. I'm gonna let y'all know, and I know y'all like to tussle, Urea fans, but that girl is giving real weird. It's just really weird. She's acting a little suspicious, a little sus, if you say. Um, Sorry, I have my ADD, so I'm just going all over the place. Um, that's all really gonna say. Cody's eye looks crazy. Um, oh, this is also might be surprising and shocking. I'm not mad that Roman won. Surprisingly, especially since he said that he's like, he wants to go to work every week. So I'm like, you know what? You have at it. Okay. Um, that was honestly Roman's, in my opinion, that was Roman's best match of his career.
Hmm.
Was that
He's
match?
Samoan too.
In my
Hmm.
opinion, that is with it just. To me, that is Roman's best match in his career. That motherfucker felt, for him to tweet about it,
Yeah, he did tweet about it.
he don't give a shit about half them. When's the last time he tweeted about a
He
match he
never
had
tweets
someone?
about a
It's been
match.
years.
He never tweets about a
He
match. I
never.
think the
I
last
think
time
he
he did it
maybe he's done
was
it
it
once.
Cody?
No, he didn't even do
Was
that
the
for
last match
Cody.
with Cody?
No. He just talked about his title run. He didn't say shit about the match. From the match itself.
No, I don't think he's ever done
That's
that,
what I'm saying.
honestly.
Like, that moved him. That's why that nigga was in tears when he first got out there to prove that shit moved him. He ain't felt alive like that in years. That man
That's
could have
because
run. I'm serious. He could have ran through a fucking house with. Oh my god. I was like, why is he acting like this? It was weird. I was like, I
well,
have never seen Roman act like this.
CM Punk says he's the best in the world, and most of the
He
time he pulls out all the best out of his opponents.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that shit moved Roman so much. He said, you know what? I gotta clock in a little bit more. He was like, Galena, I know there's 12,000 kids in a house. I don't want JoJo to be a babysitter. That's crazy. We'll hire a nanny. I'll pay for it, obviously. And,
Crazy.
I just got to go to work a little bit more.
Contrary to popular belief, I actually liked night one, but not for the reasons that you think.
I hated it.
The matches were short, but some of them were short for specific reasons, like Liv Morgan's match because of her eye injury and her head injury with the concussion protocol, and Stephanie being banged up. They didn't want them to go this long match and then both of them or one of them is out longer after said match. They still have to be able to do backlash soon, and they've got a lot of stuff coming up within the next couple of weeks. So they didn't want them to lose momentum and time. So they shortened their match at Mania, and then they could put a longer match on at the next PLE. Um, they had a 6-man tag team match for Jey Uso and the Usos and LA Knight and I Show Speed. The best thing I liked about that match was that I Show Speed got to have a really big moment at WrestleMania. A lot of people don't get to have that. So I appreciated that for him. Um, Other than that, like, I mean, you had Seth and Gunther. It was good. And I liked the match with Cody Rhodes and Randy. I thought that they put on a decent match. Hopefully, they'll be able to finish out their feud in the near future. The Fatal 4-Way. Here's my thing. The match is sometimes when they finally reach the end of the road, you've seen them fight so many times that you're no longer interested in watching the finish. I've seen some variation of the four of these women, sans the Bella twins, fighting for on both shows. So to me, it didn't really move me or do anything. As far as Soraya is concerned, or Paige as she's called now on um WWE, Paige was seen out with the Bella twins somewhere. Somebody saw it and then they leaked it to the dirt sheets and ran with it. And they were like, yeah, they're getting ready to use her to replace Nikki. She still had the boot on when they saw them together. And I'm like,
I ain't like that.
that was y'all. I'm like, I understand that them leaking it and then twisting it and turning shit really pissed y'all off. But I need y'all to understand something. You're in the age of spin. You're in a time where everything is visible and you are always visible. As public figures, you should have known better. I hate to say it, but you should have known better because you put yourselves in a position where all your shit was out there and everybody was gonna know it. And instead of you getting mad, you should have protected your surprise. You should have protected yourself. You should have had Paige alone. She could have been in Vegas and everything because all of the wrestlers were
Well,
in
she was
Vegas.
booked in Vegas for like appearances. So
Exactly. So
her being in Vegas wasn't weird.
nobody wouldn't have cared.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I do agree with you a little bit on that aspect, but at the same time, I'm just so tired of this happening. It mostly happens to WWE, and I can't believe I'm defending them about something. Very rarely have it happens every once in a while for AEW, but it's just they need it's like the whole need thing for like, oh, I need to get ahead, I need to get a clicks, when it's like n- like no tea, no shade, 90% of you are not journalists. You're not journalists. You're barely a fucking writer.
I don't know why they keep doing it, but I'm just saying
I'm.
there's no way to get around it.
It's yeah.
You
It's like, and you can't, and then also you can't combat with who's back there, who's being messy and spilling tea. Like, we know the people who spill the tea to the dirt sheets. Like, we don't really need to name them. We know which wrestlers do it, but
yeah.
it's like damn, we can't get something.
We
Like,
need
I
it. I
can't
mean,
get a
that
little
was nice.
surprise here and there. Like,
Yeah,
it's
because
so
y'all have been
tired.
able, and that's the problem. Y'all have been able to surprise a lot of things. WWE was able to keep punk shit under wraps tight, tight, because we all suspected it, but there was no guarantee. And even they hadn't had finished that contract for him until the day of. Like, that shit is crazy. And I'm like, how is it that was
It
able to
was even
ride?
day. It was right before the show ended.
Yeah. So I'm like, how was that able to get through? But y'all couldn't keep this quiet. This couldn't be kept quiet. It really ruined it because I never get to have a surprise no more. Because it either gets sent to me or it comes across my timeline. I try not to say anything when I see certain stuff because it will ruin everybody else's time watching the show. So for people who don't always have the stuff sent to them or seen on their timeline, they don't have to have their fun ruined as much as I have mine ruined now. So I try very hard to keep certain shit under the vest and try not to share every single thing. But that pissed me off because I was like, damn, like we could have at least had one nice little surprise. As far as night two is concerned, I like the fact that Oprah Femi squashed Brock Lesnar. I love that. And I didn't give a fuck that he left his boots in the ring. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
I don't care. I don't care. I care less. You left your boots in the ring? Okay. If that's what you really wanted to do. Now they were supposed to have a trilogy set up. It was supposed to be Brock wins, I guess. Oba wins the next, and then Oba wins, or Oba won this one. Brock will win the next one. It wasn't supposed to be a squash match, but once he threw that X up in the ring and took his boots off, WWE like, okay, this is not because that's not what was planned. Because if you think about it, when you watch that back, Michael and fucking Wade didn't say nothing because they didn't know what to say. They didn't know what was going on because that was not the original script. That wasn't the plan. But
Someone
they
has a
changed it.
video. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a video of someone sitting camera side, or they can directly see Cole and Wade Barrett, and they are just completely blank faced,
They don't know what's going on.
and they're just sitting there,
And
and
they're
you
not
can
saying
and you can tell by Michael, like, his face, someone's yelling. You can tell he's listening to somebody. Because you know that thing that you do, like, we all do this with, like, human beings. We, like, tilt your head to, like, get a better listen or whatever.
yeah.
That's literally that's the body movement Cole is doing. I was like, oh geez. I said,
They don't
oop.
know. I There is a conversation about Jade Cargill that I want to have on a different podcast, but I will tell you this. Y'all are racist. And I don't understand why that is. Y'all judge Jade to a very harsh extent. And I've come to understand that some of you motherfuckers are biased just because she's a black woman. And I really hate that it's black men that do it because that shit pisses me off to no end. I told y'all that girl wrestles to the quality of who her opponent is. And I have been proven right time and time again. Y'all said to me that Jade Cargill's match with Rhea Ripley was going to be ass. That is what y'all said. And if you ask me, when you go back and watch the shit, the girl was wrestling Rhea move for move, bar for bar, if we being fair. This was well before BFAB and Meech's interference. But you still couldn't give her props. You say shit like, oh, the match was decent, but I still don't like Jay Cargill. I don't care. I don't care. But your ass is simping over Rhea Ripley. You'll lick her ass all day long. You're all up in Liv Morgan shit. And if we being fair, she just got her shit together about 2-3 years ago. Okay? Jay Cargill ain't been there that long. So we talking about going from debuting at WrestleMania. Let's put this into perspective. You debut at one of the biggest shows of all time. That's your debut. Outside of you being in the Rumble, okay? Because to me, Rumble don't really count as a fucking match. You talking about being in a regular match, bar for bar, move for move, and that's the time that you match. That's the time that you wrestle is at WrestleMania. Ain't none of you hoes gonna be able to do what she was able to do in the time frame that she's done it, and that's what pisses me off. Y'all would rather lick the ass of somebody who is mediocre. You would rather beg and plead and grovel at the feet of mediocrity than to accept a person who is just exceptional. You can't deal with that. Now I'm on your ass because your ass is wrong. You've been wrong and you're going to stay wrong. The more you keep trying to marginalize her and downgrade her, the more she's going to keep rising to the top. So you keep on. Yeah, Rhea Ripley won. And don't get me wrong, I saw that coming, so it is what it is. Her winning doesn't matter to me. That girl's going to be champion again. When she fights Bianca and they have a good match, I want to hear what you're going to say then. Because all y'all are wrong. You're wrong. The way you judge people, the way y'all talk about people, how y'all disrespect her. And it is always the black girls. Before it was her, it was Bianca. Before it was Bianca, it was Naomi. And all three of them are good
The
in their
only
own.
person, the only person who gets almost is just as bad, but obviously doesn't have the racial undertones is Charlotte.
Yep.
They do the same. It's the same thing. It's because of the natural talent and them visually being leagues ahead of people who were, on the indies grinding, blah blah. But like Rhea's ass was barely on the indies her fucking self. She was on WWE's radar for years. And they were just waiting for her to get a little bit older because they didn't want, no offense. Hey, and I did watch that What's Your Story? It's really good. You guys should check it out if you haven't already. Low key didn't want another page because she wowed the fuck out. A lot of it. Again, she had there's a lot to her story. No pun intended. So it is what it is. So they waited a while because they were like, we can't sign no girl that's fresh 18, that like hundreds and thousands of miles from home. She's gonna wild out like Paige did.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm saying, I'm not trying to be mean or nasty or negative, but I'm just saying, like, they were like, we don't want that. Someone to deal with that again. Because that was a lot.
That's you gotta, it's like you raising a child.
And they talk about it in What's Your Story? Which it's like, we kind of knew she was bad, but they were like, it was bad. And then she was like, yeah, failing drug tests all the time because she was saying, talking about, okay, in her early talks of them bringing her back, and they were like, you gotta pass pass all the tests with your neck. Like, your neck has to be completely okay. Like, obviously, it's not ever going to be completely okay, but healthy enough for you to wrestle. And they were like, and you have to pass a drug test. Those are the two things they said that she had to have. Neither, not one or the other, or that she was, or wasn't going to get past talking.
And the drug test is what she couldn't pass.
No, I'm saying like she could pass it. This is when her recent comeback.
Oh, her recent one. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, don't forget what you look like when you first got there, bitch. And
Mm,
it's just so irritating. And I'm not trying to call her like gimmick or euphonia because I think obviously she does actually like this shit.
yeah.
But you are manufactured too, is just in a different way. And you just don't want to admit it. Because I think that's the argument like they are trying to use is like, oh, like she's just like so like cool when literally her mother just came back.
Mm.
So how are you gonna act like Rhea's the original and the original just came back and she's not even the original? Then you have Daphne and any other like blah blah. But I'm just saying like original to like that point of time in WWE. And that's what I just don't like how like these Rhea fans try to rewrite history to prop her up. It's like you don't need to do that. You know,
Because if we
she stands fine enough on her own. Yes, she does get propped up here and there, did get propped up for a little while, but you know what? She's evolved a little bit and X, Y, and Z, and she puts in the work. I'm not negating her work ethic, but at the same
call
time,
a spade a spade.
yes,
Like,
no
let's
one
be
wants to
honest.
call a spade with Rhea, and then when you do say something, it gets
You're a
so
hater.
much pushback
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
When it's like
Rhea
we
wasn't
can
that
admit
good
it.
when she first started. Like, we're talking about you being on TV, you going out there, you're coming out there, you are fumbling over your words on camera. Your match with Oscar that you had at Mania was insanely bad. It was terrible. But this is my thing. Rhea gets to have a pass. She is openly allowed to not be good, to fuck up, to have mistakes. But anybody else, especially the black girls and the Latina girls, they don't get to have that. They got to come out the box and be fucking perfect. And I don't like that shit. Let Jade Cargill breathe because when you give her the opportunity, she rises to the occasion. And y'all don't like that shit. Y'all can't stand when a black woman is doing what she doing and that shit look good on her. You don't like it.
Yep.
You and your fucking feelings. I don't understand. And it's always the black girls. Naomi just started getting the praise that she's deserved for years. Years. Y'all treat Bianca like she's the bane of your existence. But the same shit that Rhea Ripley's getting right now is what Bianca was getting. And from what we hear, that wasn't the regular fucking agenda. Becky had to beg for that girl to beat her at the year of WrestleMania where she got her, ain't that the year she got her eye messed up? When like Becky and her had that match and she had her eye dotted and she had to wear them glasses after Mania.
I think so.
I think that because she had the black and red gear on that the fan made, and I think during their match, Bianca's eye got messed up.
I
Anyways,
don't remember this. Yeah, and the one thing, and then we'll move on from this. And the other thing, again, I can't believe I'm defending two white women. Um, and they do that with Liv, especially when they talk about those Rhea fans talks about her versus Liv. With no tea, no shade, Liv be working her ass off.
that's true.
And
I'll
Liv
never
has
take nothing
worked
away from
her
her.
ass off. And if also I watch your story and Cody's talk about it, and he was like, if you were to ask me, he was like, who's like the hardest worker on our company and blah blah. And he was like, this is really why I want to have you on. He was like, it would be you. And she does anything and everything them people ask or want her to do. She fucking does it. She'll literally sign autographs for be exhausted. Probably can't see nothing out her eyeball. She's tired because she got bags. She's had bags under her eyes for a month. Signing autographs for like 3 hours and shit. And it's like, and she's actually like visibly improved. She has visibly improved her in ring work. She has visibly improved on her mic skills, significantly improved. And she used to get shit on as she was learning this when I'm like, are we what is Rhea doing?
Hmm.
She just fucked up on a promo 2 days ago, and everyone acts like it was the best thing they heard all week.
I used to
I,
give Liv Morgan a lot of shit, but I knew that that girl was crazy when last year's Mania, when she was out clubbing the night before her match, and then was out clubbing the night after, because she was booked as an appearance for both clubs. And
with
I was like,
that one dress was hold on for dear life. I was like, oh my god, please have tape.
girl,
You know what
I
dress
said,
I'm talking about?
yes.
I was like, Jesus, Liv. I said, why are you wear why?
I love the
Yeah, in
dress, but I
Vegas,
didn't
that
think
was the only place she would have been able to wear that dress, and she looked amazing. But I was like, oh my god, I was nervous.
one slip and it's coming apart. But
I was, she's gonna
I
show everything. I said, you can't have on a bra with that dress, and you couldn't have no
no.
panties on. I said, bitch, you are naked.
Hmm.
You look
And
good.
she had those 6-inch stiletto heels.
I
I
was
don't
so
think she had.
scared
What she have on? Them
holding a sign.
look like they were Socates, the Louboutin Socates. Them things
Yeah.
are fucking ridiculous. And she's standing up there dancing. Next night, she's on TV wrestling with to get the tag titles back. This is what I'm talking about. That's crazy work.
I'm scared of you, bitch.
I want my ass in the bed. Okay, I'm not fucking doing that.
That lady is working prime fucking Shawn Michaels.
That was crazy. I was like, did she sleep?
Actually, no, because Shawn was showing up late. Who was showing up to work on time and they was getting drunk? It's somebody. It's
Well,
someone
Triple H
from.
wasn't.
It wasn't Triple H because Triple H didn't even party like that. They said he was a square. He was like that nigga. So he used to yell at them, be like, "Be quiet." So it wasn't Hunter, huh? It'll come to me eventually. But she
All
what? And she
right.
would show up to work on TV.
And was wrestling.
Is
And
wrestling.
hungover or not, high or not, she
And they were
there.
just talking about the Hall of Fame, like her and Cody, like on a podcast, and they were both saying like, "I love the Hall of Fame," and he was like, "But the one thing I hate about it is that it's so late at night," and she was like, "Oh, she's like, I love how it's at night because she's like, you get to really like see people for like who they are at night," and she's like,
Oh,
"I
she
just
an
watch
observer.
everybody."
She's an observer. I fucks with that because that's fun. People
She was
watching.
like, I just watch people the whole time. She's like, I love it. She's like, it's so good. I said, you're
I love it.
wild.
I love her. I love her for that.
I do
That's some
too.
shit
I
I would.
said, she be pissing me off as a character, but I like that lady.
Yeah.
Hey, something's not right with her, and I love it. I don't know what is wrong with that lady, but I love what's wrong with her. Because something's wrong with her.
All right. So CM Punk and Roman's match was good, and I have to admit, I was wrong about the match because I was
We were
adamant.
all wrong.
I was adamant that match was gonna be trash.
It was going to be ass.
But I was wrong. They rose to the occasion. Both of them did, and you got to give CM Punk and Roman A props for that. They did exceptionally well. But my favorite match of all of the night of both nights was the Intercontinental Championship match. That match was fucking fire. I don't
tense.
care what you're talking about, and I was so mad because Javon was so fucking close. He was so close. And I just wanted him to grab that belt so
I knew he
bad.
wasn't going to win.
No,
As soon as I saw Oba win, I said, "Ooh." I said, hate for it, hate for it to not happen for you tonight, young OG, but it ain't happening tonight.
I hated it so much. I was so mad. I also hated that Sammy lost because it's no shade to Trick Williams, and
They
everybody gets mad at
man,
me.
Sammy
But
been getting smoked all week.
he don't get no
He did them.
break.
Stephanie, I was like, "What?"
What
I was like,
the fuck?
"Stephanie, that's fucked up." I was like, "Sammy, of all people," I said, "He's already having a bad
Just be
2 weeks."
catching strays, bro.
I said, Sami Zayn has done nothing but catch strays for a month straight. I said, we need to leave him alone for a little
Like
bit.
let him breathe. I'm like, yo. Everybody's like, well, Trick Williams need to win. Trick Williams need to win. I'm like, I
And
am of the
then a
latter.
day later, they're mad about Mello.
I'm like, no, he doesn't. He needs to lose. And they're like, why would you say that? He's a black man. No, 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 no. We're not talking about him being a black man. He's on the card. And that in itself is amazing. He just got there. He just got to SmackDown this year. Okay. For him to go from being a top prospect for SmackDown to go to the main, one of the big cards, a big match at Mania, that's a big thing. So I'm not shitting on him. My thing is this, for the sake of the story, sometimes I feel like WWE pulls the trigger way too fast on people. Trick Williams' star is not going to fizzle out. It's not going nowhere. Trick Williams has everything. He's got the look, he's got the gift of gab, he has the talent. Making him champion isn't going to change that. Now, my thing is this, if you can pull fans and intrigue and love from people without having the championship, that's the makings of a true star. Some people have to build their legacy off that championship run. Others can use their personality and their aura to draw you in, and he's one of those guys. You don't have to put the title on Trick Williams right now. I don't think that they should have. They should have let Sami Zayn cheat to win, and that would have started the story for them to move forward. Not to mention, we're talking about in the story. Look at the story. Trick Williams is the aggressor. Trick Williams is the bully. Think about what I'm saying. Every single week he comes out there. Sammy's not going to Trick. Trick finds him and says something egregious to him. Then he got Lil Yachty on his squad adding to it. It's like being in high school and you walking down the hallway and the bully keep finding you because they need something to do. I'm like, do nobody understand what's happening here? The bully won at WrestleMania, and y'all are like, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm like, okay. So in about a month, when y'all start booing Trick because you get tired of him, then you'll probably see it my way. In my opinion, he needed to suffer something. He needed some humility, character-wise. Personally, he seems like a good dude either way. But character-wise, he needed to suffer some humility. And he should have learned that lesson at WrestleMania. But, what do I know? I'm just a lowly fan. Anyways, AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. Let's just say I feel like they could have left it at what it was and she could have lost. I didn't like it. So let's just leave it at that. I wasn't a fan of that on the first night. That pissed me off. Anyways, let's go to what happened during Mania week to the superstars. Alexis had to check out because her allergies are acting up really bad, so she's not here. So we're gonna try to blow through this as quickly as possible so we don't keep y'all too long. But there is some things that y'all fans really need to get straightened out mentally. And that is y'all parasocial relationship with the superstars online is not that, it doesn't mean that you guys know them. It doesn't mean that you have the right to walk up to them, accost them, harass them for pictures and autographs. And you guys mob them in their hotels where they were staying so that, and their families are staying. You had no respect for boundaries. There were videos of people disrespecting the superstars. There was a video of somebody disrespecting Royce Keys. Drew McIntyre had to come out on social media and tell people to chill out. Booker T, X-Pac, both of them was like people accosted them in the bathroom. There were people talking about how Damian Priest had to stiff arm somebody from attacking from coming up to some of the female superstars. He was there protecting them. And then CM Punk was protecting Bailey and his wife because they were hugging it out. They were at the airport. Bailey saw her, ran up to her. They were talking and they were hugging, and they went into a little corner in the airport to hug. And somebody followed Bailey and AJ Lee while they were having a personal conversation. He's calling and talking to him, and Bailey's like, "Ew, no, get out of here! Stop following me." Goes over there and CM Punk slaps the fucking phone out their hand. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
As he should. The fact also, it's like shame on WWE and TKO. You have all this fucking money.
Mm,
There needs to be better security for the superstars, especially if you're gonna put them in these hotels. Like these hotels in Vegas are there's hundreds of rooms in there. It's crawling with thousands of people. If you're gonna put them in a place like Vegas and put them in a hotel, you need to buy out the whole fucking hotel. Like you can't like there's just so much unregistered access. And also, do we forget how like insane people are in this day and age? Like what if someone had a gun? Like people forget about fucking Christine Grimmy, who got killed by a literal fan. A lit- or even hell, Sonya and or Daria and Mandy's
Mandy,
situation.
yeah. Did Liv just had a stalker
Liv
situation
just
not
had a
too long ago?
stalker. Roxanne
Oscar,
just had a stalker situation.
yeah,
Alexa has had multiple.
yep. And
Like
Oscar just
we
had
need to.
one where she wasn't even on
Oscar
TV
just
for
had like
weeks.
a real bad one, and
Yeah,
it's like enough is enough. And it's like you already. And this is why wrestling fans have the reputation that we do.
yep,
It's like you can't act fucking like I know you're probably very unsocialized human being, and I hate that for you. That sucks. But at the same time, like we need to do better. Like you can't like this isn't a video game. This isn't like this isn't a fucking Call of Duty waiting room. Like this isn't online. Like you're not just watching on your couch watching the TV. Like these are real fucking people. Yes, and they are essentially playing characters. Are some of the characters more closer to who the person actually is? Sure, but that's not all the time. But that does not give you agency to impede on all of their personal time.
right.
It's like if you see someone, it's like you're like, hey, what's up? Blah 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 blah. I was like, and it's also people just have some fucking decorum. When I worked at, I used to work for Hyatt, and I worked when I lived in Columbus, and I were in the hotel that I worked at. It's still to this day the largest convention space with in the hotel in the state. So yeah, the largest convention area. Um, so obviously we would have cons and conventions, and you know how many fucking famous people I've seen. Like I've cooked for and seen Ric Flair. I've seen like who's that lady's name? The dragon lady from Game of Thrones.
Mm.
What's her name? Whoever
The
that lady
blonde.
is. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which
I
I
don't know
always
her name.
thought, which was always so weird to me because she's like not even from America, but I guess one of her best friends is from Columbus, so she would always just come here to visit them.
Oh,
Um, which is a weird fun fact. I met freaking Chili from TLC. I've met, unfortunately, Bobby Flay. I've met Robert Irvine. Also very unfortunate. I've met Guy Fieri. I've met gosh, there's been a shit ton of them. I've met half of Wu Tang. Like I've met, may he rest in peace, Nicholas Brendan from Buffy. I met James Marsters from Buffy. Like I've met quite a few famous people. I've literally cooked food for Vince. I've cooked food for Taylor Swift. So like I was around like famous people. And yes, sometimes you want to be like, oh my God, especially that, like, back then, like, I literally, because Rick had to have fucking spaghetti and meatballs. Like, I guess he really wanted spaghetti and meatballs. And and then my friend was like, because my friend Michael was serving, he had to like explain to him, like, we don't fucking have that on the menu. And like, he doesn't give, like, he's this gay man, he doesn't give a fuck that that's Ric Flair.
I
um so, but I was like, I'll figure it out. And I figured out, I did make it be, I did figure, I use like my burger meat, because I used to get these like wagyu and Angus mix for my burgers in the restaurant. So I just used that to like make the meat. And then I went upstairs and I don't know what, and I found some fucking pasta in
I
the, yeah, in one of the, this is one of the banquet kitchens. And then I did like a quick branzino sauce. I was like, you are so lucky. You are so fucking lucky. And apparently it was like the best like pasta and meatballs like he's had. And I was like, you better, motherfucker. I've literally had to haul, I don't even know, I don't remember which one it was, Hall or Oates. Literally had to haul one of Hall and Oates' drunk ass wife who pissed herself and passed out at the bar at the hotel. That was a thing. Bobby Brown literally trying to like max out his fucking credit card and like buy rounds of drinks for like the entire bar, and his manager is like, just please, it's like begging with the bartender to close the tab.
nuts.
It's wild. That whole part, that me living in Cincinnati, and that part, and that whole time I was in Columbus, was all such an insane part of my life.
Dude, that's a whole YouTube vlog series
I know.
in
I always
itself.
say, I was like, I really should talk about like, I honestly should. Since I'm like in the middle of like revamping my TikTok anyways, and I was like, I should do like a story time about me working at the high, because that whole time I worked for high. On I also, I kind of don't want to, because I feel like I might get some people in trouble, because some of these people still work for the company. Or honestly, I could use fake names, so
You
but
could,
yeah,
you
I could use
could.
fake names, but they're the most like, I mean, like, shit that sounds like shit that sounds like a TV show. Like, we literally, like, one of my friends, like, one of us, like, literally one of my friends, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I want to tell this. Anyways, I'll tell the short version. So one of our friends was like really tripping. Like, they were doing like, they were just on some shit. um they like left a couple of us like concerning voicemails. So we went to their house, couldn't get in the house. So literally, me and another friend, which my other friend, and I was like, when I was trying to sneak in through the front, my friend literally bashed their kitchen window open so they can go and make sure this person is like alive.
Oh my god.
Turns out they were. They just took a bunch of Tylenol.
Jesus.
So it became, so it's like a thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like a very, or like one of like our higher ups that we all really shouldn't have been friends with, because there was the fact there should have been so many fraternization like rules, like, any since me working there. And I've worked at places and like ever since then I have worked at places, like, funnily enough, worked at places that have very, not so much at the casino, like, the casino had layers to it, but especially when I worked for Cadado, very, very, very strict like fraternization like policies. There was zero to none. Like, there was no reason why a bartender is hanging out and getting drinks bought for them by their operationals director.
Mm-mm.
Like, that man is like part of like junior slash senior leadership of the hotel. What are we doing? Like thinking back on that now, like being like a manager for like a few years now, and like working in like so many different industries, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like, that place was like an HR nightmare. And then our HR was actually nightmare, like just drama with that, like literally forcing one of my coworkers to either resign, or they would find a way to find some weird loophole thing and fire him because he was fucking around with one of the girls who worked in HR that everyone like loved and thought this was like this little sweetie pie, and they were like hooking up, and he was always say like, hey, like this is very like no strings attached, like I don't really want anything like more than this from you, from like, friends with benefits, blah blah. Course, she like caught feelings, and he's like messing with someone else too, and she's like so heartbroken, so they did this to him, and I'm like, that's like not even legal,
Oh, Jesus.
but it happened.
Yeah, you need TikTok.
And one day I would have to write out everyone's names, and then I would have to write out, and I would have to have like their fake names next to it, because I would say their name halfway through.
You put that shit on the teleprompter when you record it.
That is true. I low key, I'm gonna, sorry, Michael. I'm probably gonna use Michael's name because I feel like I have to, and he doesn't care. Uh, and that's the same thing with like my friend Aaron, Erica. There's like a couple people who like I will keep their names because they wouldn't care, and they would just like have like a key about this, because we talk about like how, well, not so much Aaron because he didn't work with us, but especially like me and Michael and like Erica, like it was just like a wild, it's like a wild time, like how Michael like literally almost got fired because of how fucking wasted he got at our awards banquet. It was like basically like yelling at like our HR director like about like she's shitty because she didn't like give him the
Oh
job that
my
he
god.
interviewed.
That is crazy.
Dead ass. I had to like freaking Bible that happened.
That
And
is
then I'm
nuts.
getting interviewed with it, and it's putting me in a weird place because I think I was a supervisor by then.
Mhm.
And then I won't say my other really good friend's name because I think she would feel some type of way. So I'm gonna call her Alexis. No, sorry, Alexis, but this is the closest to her name that I can think of right now. And she like low key was like kind of like low key snitched on him because she was an assistant manager, and well, Michael's like an hour, just like regular like full-time employee, and then I was a supervisor, I think Kylie was, and I don't know, whatever. And because she felt that since she was in like management, that she like, since she was like an assistant manager, like she really needed to like, she didn't want to be put in like an awkward position. And I was like, well, you just put everybody in an awkward position.
Right.
And like she was doing some real fuck shit too. Like she was, well, she's not in the industry anymore, but literally she was like, okay, so we would have, so for housekeeping for a lot of big hotel companies, this is just to give you a backstory. They also, on top of like actual housekeepers that work for the hotel itself, they also um also sub out like a third party, and it's
Mhm.
people who like work at the hotel and stuff, but they don't work it, but don't work for the whatever. So they basically pay the company, and then the company pays these employees. So like
Okay.
so basically like their income, even though they're working for us, and they're basically, and quite often a lot of them are there as often as the regular full-time employees, but they aren't directly paid from the company. Even though like they work there, they like clock in and out there, like eat their breaks, or like eat in our cafeteria, shit like that, but they aren't technical, but they can officially are able to get hired in by the company if a position's open, they interviewed it and blah blah, and they like pass it. So she was messing around with this guy who was the supervisor, was the housekeeping supervisor of like in like the third party people that would be with us. And like she was like obsessed with him. Like she was like, well, when you're real down bad, like she was
Yeah.
down fucking bad for she was so fucking down bad. She was like fucking him in like the dirty rooms, like because you have like
Ew.
an X amount or a room that wasn't in use because of like something's broken in it, like a TV or something like
Oh,
that. Like literally in the middle of a shift, like just banging this dude out. And
that's
I'm like, where
nasty.
I was like, you're supposed to be working, bitch. And she was just so it was, and that's what Michael, and that's why Michael was so mad because like we all knew that, and he was like, girl, I could really clock your tea. And he was like, and he's like, and he's like, I could be nasty, which I was like, even though like I was really good friends with both of them. And she was like, that's messed up. He would say that to me. I'm like, well, I mean, can you blame him? Like he's in a really bad spot now. Like you got him messed up. Like he almost got fired. I was like, I do the same thing. Like and, it was this whole thing. But it was just that it was just so much crazy. It was just like that, just like people like ODing. um
The casual way you're saying this is fucking batshit
it's
bonkers.
just like
Like,
so
yeah,
it's
people
like so
ODing and
it's just I feel like that was such an in that's such a crazy, like I literally caught like one of my employees do like we caught one of our employees like fucking like doing heroin at work. Like this like this is insane.
what?
Like yes, like insane. And he was stealing. It's not funny. I
Nicole.
hope he's clean now and he's alive. But he was like stealing from he worked at front desk and he was like stealing. But the crazy thing is at Hyatt, so under
Excuse
like
me.
I don't know, whatever, if you admit that you have some shit, pops off and they'll be like, okay, like we caught you stealing. And you can be like,
You have a
oh,
problem?
yeah, I got a problem. They have to send you to rehab, but they can't fire you.
Oh, that's their policy.
Yeah, that's like in their policy. That's
Interesting.
like they have like a wellness policy. Dead ass.
Hmm.
And which was so insane to me because there were so many people who literally had drug and alcohol problems that work there. Like, so, like, like you kind of hear about it. The people who I can relate to the people who's like experienced like this. And I was like, before it actually, like, you actually experience it, it's so jarring. Like, the first, like, moments or like infancy of you seeing it someone consistently because you just like can't process it. You're seeing something like that you've only watched and or seen like on TV. Like you didn't think this was like real.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh, like it's not like a plot in One Tree Hill or something. Like it's
No, it's like legit.
like it's dead at like literally like one of my friends. I also can't use her name. Her name is Kelly. Like severe like she was a severe alcoholic and she was 22. Like a
Mm.
raging alcoholic, that to the point like we were both supervisors. And I don't remember. Were we in the same department? I think we were in the same department at that time. But anyways, she would get so messed up sometimes. Like one of my assistant operations director would literally call me and be like, "Hey, Kelly." And he's like, "Hey, Kelly is late, is 30 some minutes late for a shift. Her phone's dead. I think she's probably passed out. Can you go wake her up and help her? Like, can you go wake her up, tell her to go to work?" And I'm like, are you kidding me? And this is when we literally live like I think like maybe three houses down from each other at this time. So again, I had to walk my ass to her house, bang on her door, and I'm simultaneously, because she lived with our friend Erin and they had a third roommate. So I'm banging on a door, calling Erin at the same time in case her fuck ass roommate is there because I refuse to have her number. Aaron's not picking up. I was like, great, he's probably in class. Her fuck ass roommate is there. Great, please let me in. Trying to open up Kylie's door is locked from the inside, so I have to pick her lock and bang on it until she wakes up. Guess what? She's sleeping on top of fucking Taco Bell and has beer bottles of Miller High Life everywhere.
What the fuck?
Her purse is like her purse, everything's out of her fucking purse. Phones by the charger, but not on the charger. And it's just like, oh my God. So I have to literally smack her, be like, get up, you're late to work, would literally help shove her up, turn the shower on, shove her in the shower, and I would be like, I was like, she's gonna drown until she wakes herself up, and that's what she would do. And then she would get ready for work, and then I would go drop her off,
Oh my God.
and then drop her off because I didn't have a car then. So I would just drive her car. And so I would just drop her off. So I would just drop her off at work because I would be having either I would be off or I would like be going in a little bit anyway. So I was like, whatever, her car would be back there regardless. And so like if she's off, she'll be like, come pick me up. So I'll pick her up and she'll want to go to the bar. I'll be like, Kylie, you can't go to the fuck. I was like, you gotta fucking work in the morning. And then, cycle happens again.
Goodness gracious. God. All right. Jesus. Leave it to the code to take us on a full ride, y'all. A full ride.
That shit is crazy, man.
I agree with her that I think WWE and TKO um left WWE superstars to absolutely their own devices. And I think that that was wrong. They're a $1 billion company. There's no reason why there is not a security firm that works from within WWE. I don't understand that, especially when you have high profile people there. I mean, Triple H and Stephanie alone should have their own security detail. You guys can hire them and pay them from within the company. It'd be a separate entity, but it works from within TKO. Like, I don't understand why that's not standard, why you haven't implemented that, especially for your female superstars who are the most vulnerable. There is no reason why the male superstars who work there are helping to protect them from fans during your biggest event of the year. You should have that covered. Okay. There's no reason why they had to call and request extra security and shit. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, they went to the hotel. The hotels got mobbed with fans staying there, and y'all are like, a lot of people were asking, like some of the dirt sheets were asking, hey, how was y'all security? Like, and the superstars is like, what security? There was no hotel security, and if it was, it wasn't enough for the level of people that descended on Vegas. It wasn't enough. And then there was no security provided by WWE. With all of the damn connections y'all have in this country and how things are going for corporations, you should have some type of connection with some type of black label fucking security detail company that can provide you with the security if you're not going to have one from within the company. Personally, I think you should have your own security firm to cater to your superstars, period. Because not only do they need protection traveling from city to city to the PLEs, they need it for their weekly working. Like, some of them get accosted on the fucking airplane. Kevin Owens talked about it with Chris Van Vliet a while ago about how fans will wait in the airport for them. They're tired. They want to go lay down. They want to try to get to their hotel room, get up a couple hours of sleep before they have to get up for rehearsals or get up for their walkthroughs and everything. Like, y'all don't understand the level of dedication and the level of presence that they have to do these weekly episodic shows. And not only that, a lot of them have to do press. So some of them might be slated to go to those morning shows of that city to get people to come to Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or whatever the case may be. Like, y'all have to start having some fucking etiquette. I don't know who raised y'all, but it really don't matter. You are not entitled to access to those people. You need to start having some fucking decorum and stop attacking them when you're seeing them in public. I've seen plenty of celebrities. I don't fan out. I'm not tripping. They're people just like I am. They just make a lot of money. I'm not tripping. Am I okay with seeing a celebrity? Am I gonna be like, oh, that's cool? Yeah, but I don't give a fuck. Like I don't I don't care. I've met celebrities before. I've come across celebrities before. Yeah, they did lose. I've seen them. It doesn't really bother me that much. Am I grateful to some celebrities for certain things? Sure. Do I like celebrities for the things that they do? Sure. But I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass when I don't have to or when I don't need to. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You bleed the same way I bleed. We all the same. To answer John L's question, he said, can't the superstars just hire their own security for safety? I think that's not fair. I don't think it's fair to put the responsibility on the superstars to protect them when they're not the ones who are booking them for certain events. That's not their fault. If this was something different, like they had some type of brand thing, or they were building their own stuff and they were outside of the booking of WWE, then I can understand them having their own security, right? But I'm just saying, with the way they heard how the fans were acting, they should have been hyper focused on their security and the safety of their superstars, especially with Liv Morgan having that um with Liv Morgan having that fucking stalker situation. You just had a situation with Oscar. Alexa has had that problem. Roxanne just had somebody planning to kill her. That was real. That was not fake. Like that girl really had somebody on Twitter plotting to kill her. Okay. And then the biggest one, obviously, is the one we saw play out that made national news with Mandy and Sonya Deville. So, like, the mere fact that you had all of that and then you didn't think enough to say, hey, maybe we should hire extra security for this event tells me that you don't give a fuck about the superstars. And you got to do better. Period. Now, speaking of TKO, and then we will end this and leave it where it is. There's an audio that leaked from TKO, and it was about what Mark Shapiro said in terms of the booking of the company, in terms of WWE, and how much they are actually involved. I'm going to play the audio because I want you guys to hear what he said by his own words, okay? And you need to listen very carefully because for some reason, I don't know, I think the kid from the school that he was at recorded this on his phone, and it wasn't able to pick up his voice as best as I would have liked it. So you'll hear the kid ask some questions, and then Mark Shapiro is going to answer it. So I want you guys to hear the audio, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Area, but it led to a host of opportunities, which kind of put me on that list.
I have a question about TKO. So I know TKO bought WWE. I think it was like a year or two ago, and since then, like there was like they went to ESPN, they went to like Netflix, and I'll be honest, like I've seen a lot online of like WWE fans like almost complaining about TKO and how like there's like a lot of celebrity involvement. There's like Jelly Roll and like I Show Speed and like Pat McAfee and like Logan Paul. Yeah, Logan Paul's been there for a while, but like they're like I'm actually just genuinely curious because people are saying like, oh, like TKO is ever since they bought WWE, like the product has like almost become more focused on moments and like I don't want to say like money grabs, but like there is more focus on like getting it, like making as much money as possible. Like I guess I'm curious, like how much involvement does TKO like really have on like creative control and like decisions like that? Because like I've just seen that a lot online recently.
So I'll kind of walk you through that. First of all, it has complete control. So we're responsible. And good and bad. Fact or fiction. You didn't hear about this stuff in the old days with WWE and Vince McMahon owned it because it was a private company for so many years. So they didn't put out like their financial results, if you will. Nobody knew. They knew it was successful and the brand was strong and it had a legion of fans, but they didn't really know how the business worked and what it was making, etc. Then Vince went public with WWE, and then TKO was formed with UFC and WWE coming together. So those two companies came together and launched TKO, which is a public company traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol TKO. And now everything's kind of out there. But what I would tell you is WWE has grown in every way. It's grown in financial results, but more importantly, it's grown in audience, it's grown in social, it's grown in stars, it's grown in clicks, views, short form video. I mean, it's really exploded. And the reason for that is it was really just on Peacock in USA. And now, since TKO, we did a new deal, which put Raw, our big Monday night show, on Netflix. We tripled our audience. And then we put SmackDown, which is our Friday night show, we put that on USA. And we put our developmental league, which is called NXT, on CW. And CW is linear, but CW has 100 million homes. So it really grew NXT. And then what we call the premium live events, which is our big event. Every month we have one big event. Those are the weekly shows that I just mentioned. And then we have one big event every month. Royal Rumble, Crown Jewel, name your SummerSlam. And those used to air on Peacock, and now ESPN bought that deal. So we're now on the ESPN app. And this weekend, of course, is WrestleMania 42, which is taking place in Las Vegas. So as far as the stars part of it, I don't think that's true, but if it was, good. I mean, The Rock is the biggest star on the planet, right? He actually is. And we represent him at WME. He was a wrestler for WWE for years before he ever became a Jumanji star, right? I mean, that's who he is. So having Hollywood tie-ins and celebs and stars and Logan Paul and Pat McAfee and Mark Wahlberg shows up and does his thing, or Tyrese Halliburton last year got in a fight in the ring with Jalen Brunson of the Knicks. That's not new. It's just on a larger stage. And we're spending a lot more money to market the brand and market the content. And when you do that, you're going to win some folks over, but you're also going to chase some folks away. They don't like this, or they don't like that, or this is too expensive, or I don't want to have to, oh my God, I got to watch the WWE, I got to buy Netflix, which costs this much, I got to watch SmackDown on USA, I got to do that, I got to have CW, so I have to have cable or linear television, and now I have to pay for ESPN, and you can make some enemies really quickly. I was just reading something today that Fred was showing you, that if you want to watch the Yankees games this year, the New York Yankees games, the full season through the playoffs, you'll have to watch them across 10 platforms at the cost of $1,000 when you add up everything you have to buy to see them. That's just the way of the world today, and you will chase away some fans. So that's not good. But hopefully you're getting some quality storytelling and also programming around just the Yankees. If you go to Paramount Plus right now to see UFC, you may buy Paramount Plus just to get the UFC, but you also might already have it because you're a fan of Landman or something. It's Taylor Sheridan shows. So we really want to surround ourselves with a good neighborhood of content. And ESPN is a perfect example because they have A-list sports. And 1 + 1 = 5 when you get adjacent to those kinds of properties.
Was there ever a point in your career from the time you went to school to now where you ever felt like?
All right. So here's my issue. I do understand what he's saying. And some people take corporate speak and they really don't like it because it sounds like they don't care about the fans or the product. And everybody, if you really want to understand, his spectrum is very broad. Okay. So we're a very small drop in the pond compared to the masses of the WWE universe, right? So Nicole and I might differ on how things are booked or what we want to see, but overall, our goal is the same, and that is to be entertained. The problem with Mark Shapiro is because by the numbers, they're doing fine. People still watch. They have high volume they get like 1.5 million views average for SmackDown. They are at 2 million views average for Netflix for Monday Night Raw. They're in the range of about 600 to 800,000 views weekly, and that fluctuates on NXT for CW. So they're not in a bad way in terms of fans watching and tuning in on a weekly basis. Combined, they get maybe 5 to 7 million views on their content across the board. We're not including their YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram pages where their views are outrageous. Okay. Their goal is to make money. At the end of the day, it is always going to be the bottom line. He says at the end of the day, we want to have good storytelling. That's not true. You do what gives you high views, what brings people to the product, but you're not talking about the storytelling that makes sense. You're interfering in the storytelling and changing it so it's heightened. You did that with Cody and Randy. Cody was pissed off about that shit. He didn't like it. And where I already scanned that, there were a lot of superstars who were pissed off about it. Some of them didn't say anything publicly, but Damian Priest also said it was like, we don't like it. We don't like the fact that the higher ups are interfering and costing people storylines and ruining things. Like, they need to stay in the higher ups. And I agree. You're looking at numbers. All you care about is how much people are invested in terms of what you see on social media. But there's another aspect of this that you are forgetting that really makes me wonder if you truly are paying attention. Social media itself is a direct reflection of your audience. Okay? If you are operating under the guise of what you see in terms of views and not in your engagement, the responses to your product, then you are missing a key component of what you should also be focusing on. We as fans are very vocal. We're going to tell you how we feel about something. You've got content creators who are mirroring exactly what you're putting out there, reflecting it back to you. Some of them are telling you the truth. Others are blowing smoke up your ass. It really depends on whose content you're watching. The fact that y'all know that these content creators exist and that there are plenty of people that are telling you what the fans want, and a lot of this is coming from TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You have all of this, you see this, and you're choosing to ignore it, tells me a lot about where you stand and what you're truly looking out for. You like being in the company of great people, but you don't like being able to put out something that is worth that company. You want to be in the company of the ESPN. Why? My whole goal would have been to either put WWE in the company of the entertainment where it lies. I would have went to Netflix. Netflix is a bigger market than ESPN. You also would have more subscribers over on Netflix. You also can reach a bigger audience on Netflix. People aren't going to subscribe to ESPN for $30 a month if they don't already have it through another service to watch your product. I don't care what you're talking about. If it's not worth the $30, you could have had a shitty product and kept the shit on Netflix. And everybody would have been like, well, we already got Netflix, so whatever. You're not thinking about every risk. You're only thinking about how much money you're making and what it looks like in terms of views across all platforms. But you're not focusing on where you should be, which is with the fans who are watching. Even some of the people who are new that are coming in are like, I don't like this. This isn't fun. And you're bringing in YouTubers to wrestle, which I get it. I don't have a problem with celebrity involvement. I think that WWE has been doing that for years. This isn't new. It isn't because things are heightened or because you've expanded your reach. I think you've made a mistake on that front. The reason why people are vocal about celebrity involvement is because you have people who are in the backstage who could have did what Pat McAfee did and probably would have had more impact. It would have made more sense. You bring up The Rock as the one person that you believe is one of the biggest superstars on the planet. You're very out of touch. That's another problem. You're very out of touch, and I don't think you clearly. I don't think it's clicking for you as to where you are. The Rock ain't been the top billing star in any capacity, whether it be movies, television, whether it is WWE. I don't care what you're talking about. Okay, don't care what you're talking about. Like I need you to do some reassessment. That's all I'm gonna say. And then Nicole, you can have it from here.
I'm just honestly, I think you said everything. It's just I'm just tired of it. Um, I think it's stuff that we've been saying for weeks. Everyone's been saying for weeks. You just got to get it together because the product is going to start eating itself if you don't just let genuine organic shit happen just to happen.
Right.
Yes, you are allowing some of it, but it can't be a 50-50. You just got to let it all ride, but
Exactly.
still have structure and all that. But it's just like ugh. It's just like a dead horse at this point.
But he admitted that they are very involved in creative, heavily involved in it. He also made a valid point when he said, what did he say? He said something to the effect of that if you watch, all the Yankees games, that you'll spend $1,000, and that's the way that everything is going now. It doesn't have to. You're choosing to do that, and that's the part that I don't understand. You're also price gouging, which is very, very weird behavior. And you guys just announced that you're going to Riyadh in June. I, I need to understand the logic behind these Saudi shows, especially now with the Iran war going the way that it's going. You understand that this event in WWE is a prime target. Now, don't get me wrong, Iran hasn't bombed any people. They're not that brutal. However, you have to have some decorum. You've got to have some wherewithal to pull back on this. I wouldn't have done this. I would have moved this event somewhere else until till that shit is done with. And for y'all to go forward with it, and then Nick Khan's like, we're going to Riyadh, we're going to Saudi for Mania next year. It's just like, I honestly don't think I'm gonna watch Mania next year. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. 'Cause I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch that. I feel like that's not smart, and it just comes across as very, very tone deaf to me. However, Mark Shapiro, good luck with all of that. I mean, you currently are the owner of the Blue Jays right now. You are the CEO of the TKO, and you do something else. You got a lot on your plate. You're spread very thin. For someone of your caliber, with all the jobs that you have, you are not focused on this. And I guarantee you, unless something happens drastically, things are going to start to reflect badly under your tenure, and then you're going to be ousted as CEO if you don't start paying attention. Now, I'll tell you what y'all as fans can do. You watch what you want to watch, and don't watch the other shit. I would tell you right now, if your goal is to not support WWE in any capacity, that means that you would have to stop watching everything, hyper focus on something else. AEW is out there, TNA is out there if you want to watch that. There's MLW.
Why do you think I don't watch SmackDown?
I mean,
I don't watch SmackDown. Any of the Saudi pay-per-views I don't watch.
yep.
Um I don't watch main event. I haven't watched main event in years. The only things that I consistently watch are NXT and Raw,
Raw.
and I
Yep.
would miss a Raw before I would miss an NXT.
That's what I suggest. And I'm like, if we really piss us off, if we all the entire fan base banded together and was like, yeah, we're not watching this.
Yeah. I will straight up
Until
just watch NXT.
and just pulled the target and like took out all that shit,
Yeah.
that'll change because that's the only way they understand. Like, also, we've been able to change a lot of things just with showing up and taking over the show. Look at what happened with our truth. The fans were relentless when it came to our truth. And I guarantee you, if the fans hadn't did what they did, our truth would still be fired right now. He still would be let go. So I don't believe for a second that we don't have the power to make changes. It's just that we got to be strong enough to band together to do it. And in my opinion, you can start with these Saudi shows. Don't watch them, no matter what they book for it. Don't watch them. Make those shows be the least. Well, they're already the least viewed shows that they have. And if you want to continue to push forward from there, you can. But like I said, there are other places that you can watch. Wrestling Revolver, I think, it's getting ready to move to YouTube. It's moving off of Triller. It's going to YouTube. BDE is heading up their
I feel
YouTube
like Triller's,
transition.
it's like Triller ending. I feel like they're
I don't
losing
know.
a lot of content.
They're losing a lot. They're losing a lot. But a lot of the wrestling places are leaving and going to YouTube. So YouTube, you get a wider audience. You have a bigger reach on YouTube, and you can still do subscription services on YouTube and make money that way as well. So, I wish TNA would go back to YouTube. That was, oh, I loved it
You
when it
know
was
they
on
want to be on
YouTube.
TV bad.
I loved it when it was on YouTube. I had my
You know
subscription.
they have to be on T. They just have to be on the station. They don't
Oh,
care. They obviously have never cared what station. They will take it.
I needed them to be on YouTube. I needed
It won't happen. I'm just letting you
it.
know. Don't
But
even don't even go down there.
and I do recommend that y'all watch Evolve over on Tubi. That seems to be pretty
I do be
decent.
watching. Actually, I do be watching Evolve because it's not on like a WWE show like
Yeah.
station.
Yep.
Like
It's
it's
over
on
on
fucking
Tubi.
Tubi, like free
Yep.
ass Tubi.
Yep. And it's very developmental, which it's okay, and I'm fine with that. But you get to see how they progress in Evolve, and then you'll see them get better in NXT. So I like the system that they have set up. Um, but like I said, in order for us to like really flex some muscle and show our power, we have to band together. But we as a community would have to do it together. And I just don't think everybody's strong enough to do that.
You
So,
know how you know how fucking mad they be if people was only watching Evolve and NXT.
nigga.
You know how pissed off they would be.
And I
They
hate that.
they would be bringing back everybody. They'd be asking Trish back. They'd be asking Lita back. They would pull the trigger on the Hardys. When I tell you they would pull everything out the fucking chamber, that's how we got to do it. So they
Yep.
waste all that money.
Yep. But I hate that for the superstars because they work hard and they do deserve the eyes. But
I'm gonna watch it in clips and I'll text them my support.
the only way it's the only way we gonna be able to, and it be just our luck. Somebody like Sammy would win the fucking championship at a Saudi show. They would do some shit like that.
Oh no, 100% that's how they would book it.
Anyways, y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think about Mark Shapiro and his bullshit. We can have that conversation in the comments if you want to comment some more. I'm gonna let Nicole go and get out of here. And don't forget, tomorrow over on my YouTube channel, we'll go live after SmackDown. We'll talk about the fallout of Mania from SmackDown's perspective because we've already seen Raw. We saw two people debut on Raw. Ethan Page had a good debut. I hate that it was against Javon Evans, but he had it. And we saw Ruka debut, and Ethan won his match, but Sol lost hers. But she put up a good fight against Liv Morgan. We saw the Street Profits return on Monday Night Raw, And it was a solid show overall. We got to see Io and Rhea team for the last time. Rhea's heading over to SmackDown to head up the women's division over there. And Io, she might have to contend with Asuka and Kyrie again and keep that thing going. But there's a lot going on. In the news, we had two Japanese wrestlers that are going to be popping up over in WWE. Hopefully, they start off in NXT and they get a better ride going in NXT. And AEW is still trekking on. They got a lot going on over in AEW. But you guys let us know what you think about the show and everything that's been happening this week. And we'll be moving forward from there. There's a bunch of specials coming from Saturday Night Main Event to Backlash to Clash in Italy in May. There's a lot happening over the next couple of weeks in the month of May. So I hope you guys are ready. If you're going to watch it, I hope you enjoy it. And if not, I understand. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye.
Bye.